Hi guys, I've not uploaded anything in a while because I've been very busy actually preparing a few things I've got coming out in the future, but I thought because it's been so long that I've not really done a video, I should do something quick and easy just to get something out there in the world. And I was thinking I've not done a collection video or anything in a long time, so I thought why not actually do one because I've been planning on doing them for a long time. Today I'm going to do my CD collection. I'm not going to do what I used to do in all my videos where I take a pause and talk about the album, basically do a mini album review of everything. I'm not going to do that. I'm literally just going to hold it up, say what it is, and go to the next one. So hopefully this video won't end up being about 2 hours long like a lot of the album collection videos that I've done in the past have ended up being. This is all alphabetical order by band. First off, we start off with AFI's December Underground album. Next up, we got Against Me with their 23 live Sex Acts live album. Then we got Alkaline Trio's Crimson. This is one that comes with a bonus disc which has all the demo recordings as well as a lot of acoustic versions of the songs. And then we got a few all-time low albums here. I used to have Nothing Personal, but I'm not actually sure where it's gone now. I think I lent it to my mate and he's still got it. So I've got So Wrong It's Right, their second album. Dirty Work, I don't even know what number album this is. And finally we got Last Young Renegade. This is actually one that comes with a signed version of the cover. Then we got a few Angels and Airwaves albums. I've got We Don't Need to Whisper, their first album. I Empire, the second one, and then the Love Part 1 and 2 albums here. Next up, we got a few Arctic Monkeys albums. We've got their Who the Fuck Are Arctic Monkeys EP that they released in between their first two albums. Then their second album, Favourite Worst Nightmare. The third one, Humbug. And then their fourth album, Suck It and See. I've got two of them on vinyl as well, but that's a video for another day. And then we got the debut from Courtney Barnett, Sometimes I Sit and Think and Sometimes I Just Sit. The album Hello Nasty by the Beastie Boys. Then we got three Beatles albums here. I've got Revolver, Magical Mystery Tour, and finally Abbey Road. Next up we got Odelay by Beck, Blink-182 with their demo album Buddha. We've got a couple Block Party albums here. We got the remixed version of Silent Alarm. I've got the original version on vinyl, and their album Intimacy. Then we got Biffy Clyro with their album Only Revolutions. We've got Billy Talent with Billy Talent 2. Brand new with their debut album Your Favourite Weapon. Jeff Buckley's one and only album Grace. There's two albums by the band Busted, two of the first CDs I ever got, their debut and then A Present to Everyone. Or Present for Everyone, I should say. Got the debut by Catfish and the Bottom End, The Balcony. Chase and Status's album No More Idols. Then we got loads of Coldplay albums. I know people are probably going to judge me, but I'm a big Coldplay fan. Their debut, Parachutes, Rush of Blood to the Head, X and Y, Viva La Vida, Milo Xyloto, I don't know how to pronounce it still. Their live 2012 album, Ghost Stories, and of course their most recent album, A Head Full of Dreams. I've also got their live 2002 or 2003 DVD. It's in my DVD collection because it's got DVD and CD, as does the live 2012 one, except that one's in an actual CD case, whereas the other one isn't. Got three albums by The Cribs. We've got their debut self-titled album, I believe their second album, The New Fellas, and then Men's Needs, Women Needs, Whatever. A couple albums from The Cure now. We got Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me, and their 2004 self-titled album. Then we got Daft Punk with their Musique compilation album, The Dead Weather's debut album Whorehound, a little EP thing from the band Dead. Got Death Cab for Cutie's album Plans, Tom DeLonge's solo album, the To the Stars demo Odds and Ends album, Nick Drake's debut 5 Leaves Left. Got a couple Bob Dylan albums here. We got Desire and The Essential Bob Dylan. Then we got the debut album from The Enemy, Will Live and Die in These Towns. Got a handful of Eminem albums now. I think I've got everything from the Slim Shady up to the Marshall Mathers LP2. So we got the Slim Shady LP, the Marshall Mathers LP, the Eminem Show, Encore, Recovery, and finally the Marshall Mathers LP. So I've got everything except for Relapse. Then got a few Enter Shikari albums. We got their debut, Take to the Skies. Got Common Dreads, Flash Flood of Colour, and finally the Mind Sweep. Got Fatboy Slim Greatest Hits album. I think it's Fatboy Slim, The Greatest Hits, Why Try Harder. And then the very best of Fleetwood Mac. Got one of the Brandon Flowers solo albums, The Desired Effect. Definitely the better of the two he's done. The debut from Foals, Antidotes. Got a few Foo's albums, because of course I'm going to have Foo Fighters albums. Got Colour and the Shape, One by One, Echoes, Silence, Patience and Grace, Wasting Light, and then Sonic Highways. I believe this is a debut by the Fratellis Costello Music. Some Nights by Fun, a very, very underrated pop rock album, which obviously they get a lot of flack. I think this is a really good album. Then the most recent album by a YouTuber called Freddy Greddy called Eyes on the Edge, and yeah, this is a signed CD as well. We've got a couple Good Charlotte albums now, so there's The Young and the Hopeless and The Chronicles of Life and Death. 2 albums by Gorillaz. We've got their debut self-titled album and then Demon Days. I've now got a few Green Day albums, but what I have been doing is I've been pulling them off a few bits at a time. But I've got so many Green Day CDs, I think I'm going to do this in a couple of me bringing a few down at a time instead of bringing them all down, because there's too many. First up, we got their 1039 Smoothed Out Slappy Hours compilation, which is like their debut album and then a few EPs, I believe. Their second album, Kaplunk. It's got Insomniac, Nimrod, Warning, their Shenanigans B-side compilation, 21st Century Breakdown, the Unos, Dos and Trey trilogy of albums they did, and finally Revolution Radio. We got Francis Trouble by Albert Hammond Jr., the debut album 100 by The Hunter, and this is also a signed CD. Got the album Connector by Ida Mighty, and we got a few Incubus albums. We got Science, which is their second album I believe, Make Yourself, Morning View, and finally we got A Crow Left of Murder, which is a version that comes with a bonus DVD as well, with some performances and stuff like that. We got 3 albums by The Killers, their debut Hot Fuss, Sam's Town, which is one of the most underrated albums ever made, and finally Day and Age. Interpol, their third album are Love to Admire, Michael Jackson's Dangerous album, and Electric Ladyland by the Jimi Hendrix Experience. Got Jimmy Eat World's self-titled album, also known as Bleed American. The debut self-titled album from Korn, which actually comes with a bonus disc, which they didn't advertise on the box or anything, which has like remixes and stuff on it, I believe. Got the debut from the Klaxons, Myths of the Near Future. Led Zeppelin's Mothership compilation album. We've got this 10 Years of Lower Than Atlantis B-sides and demo collection that they released in Kerrang! Then we got 3 Linkin Park albums. We've got Hybrid Theory, of course the classic one they did, Meteora, and Minutes to Midnight. And then got a few Marilyn Manson albums, his debut Portrait of an American Family, Antichrist Superstar, Mechanical Animals, Holywood, or it has a really long name, it's Holywood and then something else afterwards, and finally The Golden Age of Grotesque. Got the debut album from the Marmozets, The Weird and Wonderful, and the debut album from Maximo Park, A Certain Trigger. Got a few albums by the UK British pop band McFly, their debut Room on the Third Floor, Wonderland, Motion in the Ocean, and Radioactive. Got the very best of Meatloaf compilation, and Miko, Star Wars and Other Galactic Funk, which for those who don't know, it's basically a disco version of the Star Wars score. Got a couple of CDs now by the UK indie rock band Mela. We got their EP Damage/Joy and I Don't Know Where You're Sleeping Tonight single. Both of these were included with a t-shirt I bought from them, and I didn't even know. I'd literally just bought a t-shirt from the Bandcamp and I got these CDs and some stickers and stuff as well, so thanks guys. Got the album Business As Usual from Men at Work, one of the most underrated pop bands of the 80s. And we got a few Metallica albums here. I haven't got as many as I wish I did. Got And Justice for All, The Black Album, Death Magnetic, and finally the double album Hardwired to Self-Destruct. And then we got Oracular Spectacular by MGMT. Misfits with their self-titled collection album. Stay tuned because I'm going to be talking about Misfits quite a lot on this channel. It's coming soon. Moby and his album Play. The debut from the British emo band Moose Blood, their album called I'll Keep You in Mind from Time to Time. Alanis Morissette's debut Jagged Little Pill. Mumford & Sons with their album Wilder Mind. My Bloody Valentine with Loveless. It's a shame this got taken from Spotify, but at least I actually own it so I can still listen to it. Got a couple of Muse albums now, and I actually thought I had more, so I guess I need to get on that at some point. Got the album Absolution and Black Holes and Revelations. To be fair, they're two best albums, so it's not really a big deal. I don't have the others. We got My Chemical Romance with Danger Days. Got 3 Newfound Glory albums now. We got their self-titled album, Sticks and Stones, and Catalyst. And then the complete opposite end of the spectrum, we got 3 Nine Inch Nails albums now. We got the Downward Spiral, the Fragile, and finally With Teeth. Got a few Nirvana albums now. Got their debut Bleach, Nevermind, Incesticide, their B-side / demo compilation, and finally their From the Muddy Banks of the Wish Car live album. We've got the fantastic debut from Nothing But Thieves, and an incredibly battered, falling apart copy of What's the Story Morning Glory by Oasis. We've got a couple albums from The Offspring. We've got Smash and Americana. We've got Mike Oldfield, Tubular Bells. This is a CD I actually got in the mail on Sunday. Fantastic album. Then we got the Love Below / Speakerbox by The Outcast. Again, a very tattered, falling apart copy for some reason. Then we got the debut from Panic at the Disco, A Fever You Can't Sweat Out. We've got a few Paramore albums now. Their debut, All We Know Is Falling. Their next album, Riot. Their self-titled album. And finally the most recent, After Laughter. We've got a couple albums from Liz Phair now. We've got her album Whip Smart and then White Chocolate Space Egg. We've got a handful of Placebo albums. We've got their debut self-titled album. Their next album, Without You I'm Nothing, and then their album Sleeping with Ghosts. Plan B and his album The Defamation of Strickland Banks, another one which actually comes with a bonus disc which it didn't advertise, so thanks. The album Man It Feels Like Space Again by Pond. Funnily enough, I got this in a charity shop, took it home, opened it up, and there was a signed art card inside of it, so I'm lucked out there, I guess. The debut from Portishead, Dummy, Elvis Presley's #1 compilation album. A few Queens of the Stone Age albums now. Got their self-titled debut, Songs for the Deaf, Lullabies to Paralyze, and finally Aero Vulgaris. Kid A, there's not really anything I can say about this, but this is one of the greatest albums ever made. Then we got like a million REM albums here, only a couple of which I've actually listened to. There's the debut Murmur, which is one of my favourite albums of all time. And then Document, another really great album. Out of Time, also good. Automatic for the People, one of their best albums again. Then afterwards it gets into a few albums that I've never listened to. There's Monster, I've never listened to. New Adventures in Hi-Fi, same goes for that. The Best of REM, I've listened to that one, but that's kind of a cop-out, it's not really an album. And then finally the Accelerate album, which again, I've not listened to it. We've got the first 2 albums from the Raconteurs. We've got Broken Boy Soldier, and then finally Consolers of the Lonely. A couple Rage Against the Machine albums now. We've got Evil Empire and The Battle of Los Angeles. And then we've got a few Red Hot Chili Peppers albums, starting off with Blood, Sugar, Sex Magic, I think that's what it's called. Californication, By the Way, and finally Stadium Arcadium. Got a couple of EPs from the band Reminders, who I'm good friends with. Their debut Water Sports and Major Cities and All Talk No Action. We've got More Adventurous by Rolo Kiley. A couple Say Anything albums. We've got Is a Real Boy and In Defense of the Genre. Then we got 2 Senses Fail albums. We got Let It Enfold You and Still Searching, which was like my emo jam when I was 15. Got 2 albums by the UK band Slaves, Are You Satisfied and Take Control. Then we got the debut album by Sleigh Bells, Treats. We got Smashing Pumpkins and Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness. The Sneaker Pimps with Becoming X. Son of Dorkner album Welcome to Loserville. A couple Regina Spektor albums now. We got Soviet Kitsch and Remember Us to Life. Then we got Performance in Cocktails by the Stereophonics. We've got Every Strokes album now. So we got Is This It? One of my top 5 favourite albums of all time. Room on Fire. First Impressions of Earth. Angles. And finally Come Down Machine. Got a few Sum 41 albums now. So we got the Half Hour of Power EP. All Killer No Filler, their debut album. Does This Look Infected? Chuck, and finally 13 Voices. Couple albums from the really underrated Britpop band Supergrass. I Should Coco, their debut, and then In For The Money. Got Taylor Swift and 1989. And again, on the complete opposite of the spectrum, we got every System of a Down album. There's the debut, Toxicity, Steal This Album, and finally their double album of Hypnotize and Mesmerize. And then got both Swimmers albums, so we got Drive North and of course their most recent album Berkeley's on Fire, which is a signed copy. Tame Impala with their debut Inner Speaker, the debut Tenacious D album, the one and only album by Them Crooked Vultures, like seriously, please give us another album, this one was so good. Got 3 21 Pilots albums now, so we got Vessel, Blurry Face, and finally Trench. Got U2 with their landmark album The Joshua Tree, the debut from the Vaccines, What Did You Expect from the Vaccines, the first Vampire Weekend album, the album Dumb Blood by Vamp, which comes in a really cool little CD book thing. Got 2 albums by Weezer, because the only good ones I've got on vinyl. Except for these 2, these are good as well. The Blue album, Everything Will Be Alright in the End. A few Kanye albums now, so we got The College Dropouts, Late Registration, Graduation, and finally 808s and Heartbreaks. We've got Amy Winehouse and her album Back to Black, White Lies and their debut album To Lose My Life. A couple White Stripes albums now, we got Elephant and Get Behind Me Satan. Got With Confidence with the album Better Weather. Got 3 of the 4 Wombats albums. We've got the debut A Guide to Love, Loss and Desperation, This Modern Glitch and Glitterbug. We've got the best air guitar album in the world ever, because I didn't know where to put it. And finally, this isn't technically part of my collection, but I'm just going to plug it anyway. We've got my debut album, What Not to Do with Adolescence. If you've not listened to it, which I'm sure you probably haven't, please go check it out, because it took me a long time to make, put a lot of effort into it, and I'm really proud of it. And that is everything. I recorded a 40-minute video, so hopefully when it's all edited down, it'll be way shorter, because I didn't really talk about a lot. Hopefully I'll be doing a DVD video soon, and maybe a vinyl one in the future as well. But like I said at the beginning of the video, I've got quite a lot coming out in the future, which I think you guys are going to be really happy with. Sorry I've been gone for so long. Hopefully when I get these videos out, I can get back into doing regular videos. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you next time.